Today we're talking about the 5 life scenarios the INFJ craves but often doesn't get. When it comes down to INFJs, you will always hear them say the same thing. I need to feel intense emotions. I need to experience something extraordinary. I know there's so much potential to my life. And it's not just about achieving some kind of external goals. It's about feeling things. It's about experiencing life in a certain way. And because so many INFJs feel it in their bones that, they do have the capacity for all of that, it gets them even more frustrated when they're not having them. So today we're going to look into 5 of those incredible life circumstances and situations we all crave, but very often don't get. And we're also going to talk how we can turn it around, how we can experience everything we always wanted and live that INFJ epic life, because spoiler alert, you definitely can. Before we get started, remember the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp has launched. You have time to join until May 13th because that's when we're going to have our first live call. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. I can't wait to see you there and we can really get that ball rolling into creating your INFJ Epic Life. Life scenario number 1 that every INFJ craves is a romantic relationship. It's about intensity. It's about a deep connection. It's about feeling alive. And we very often project that onto a love interest. And this starts like really early on in our, teenage years or whenever, we actually start getting interested in these kind of things, because it's not just something we learn in movies. The main reason for this is because we have conditioned ourselves and we have been conditioned by our society that, the only way we can really be ourselves is to, allow a couple of people to see who we really are. We have been conditioned to hide so much of who we truly are. And so therefore, we believe the only way for me to experience life on a big scale is to project that onto a relationship, because then there's only one person who has to get me. One person who appreciates me for what I bring to the table, who I am as a human being, as this, unique person that has the ability to see you, to understand you, and so on, And we as INFJs, we can do that much for other people. And we hope that there's this person who just appreciates you and sees, oh, thank you for doing this. And you're my savior. And you're the one who, really gets me. And so this is something that we all crave. It's something that is really, really deep in our bones. But what I've experienced, and I've talked to a lot of INFJs about this, is that this is not something that will stick. Like, although we've all wanted this, the more often we've gotten into situations that are sort of like that, or they seemed like that at first, but then didn't give us the outcome we wanted, or it's an unrequited love, so this one-sided love, the more often we experience this, the less we're actually capable of experiencing romance in this way. And so on the one hand, you can really, get frustrated by it and say, okay, I'm just tainted, or I've just settled, or I've given up. But the truth is that you recognize that you've just been projecting so much onto that relationship. If you really look into relationship theories, you'll know that a healthy relationship is about feeling safe. And all of those intense emotions, that's all about being in flight or fight mode. And the more you learn that you need that intensity in your life, but it doesn't have to be projected only onto that one person. You can live an intense life, and absolutely everybody and everything you touch in your life can be that intense and that exciting every single day. The easier it is to understand, okay, I was just hoping for this. But if I'm really being honest with myself, that person never really had the capacity to give me what I was looking for. The only person who could really do that is me. And once I know that, I'm going to look for people in my life who make me feel excited, but also safe. And it's not this intense, Romeo and Juliet, am I going to die or not kind of scenario. Life scenario number 2 that the INFJ craves is an extraordinary life. You've heard people say, oh, I'm just, the girl next door, I'm the guy, from the neighborhood, or whatever it may be. That's not something an INFJ will tell you. We always want to have an extraordinary life. We want to have something that makes us feel excited about what we've created. Settling for this, oh, I just enjoy my home life and, I want to be one of the guys or, the girl next door, all of those typical things that people say. That's not the INFJ thing. And the reason for this is because we think outside of the box. We're not made to have this mundane life and be okay with it. Like, even if you look at your life from the outside perspective, it might look mediocre. It might look like nothing special. In very many cases, I thought like the most intense situations in my life looked very boring from the outside. So it doesn't mean that if you on paper have like this normal life, that you're not living an extraordinary life. The only person who can tell you if you're living it, if you're tapping into it, is yourself. Are you feeling like you're living an extraordinary life? Do you feel like your life has the excitement you always wanted? If the answer is yes, everything else doesn't matter. And you're not looking outside of yourself to ask yourself, oh, do people, think that as well or not? You just know it. But if you question it, if you know, okay, I feel like life is happening outside of me, something is missing, know this, it's part of what we crave as INFJs. We need to live out who we are and what we are about. And that means that we have to find an outlet to really bring out the extraordinary into the real world. No matter what it is, you can start very small, but know that as long as you have this craving, you haven't really tapped into it. The moment I started tapping into my extraordinary life, the way I wanted to live it, like, do something that made me feel like I'm stepping out of the box, everything changed. And it changed way before anybody could see anything on the outside. I just knew I'm on a different path. I know where I'm going. And that's how things changed. And once you start doing this, this is the right path for you. This is also something we talk about very intensely in bootcamp. So this is not just about like your vocation, which is one of the pillars, but it's all about understanding what makes you you, how do you want to be seen, how do you hold on to that, and how to take consistent steps in making all of that happen as an INFJ. Life scenario number 3 that INFJs crave are deep connections. So we're not the kind of people who need to have 300 people at their birthday party. We're not the kind of people who go on vacation and need to, get to know every single person we meet, although they might be lovely people. That's not what we crave. But what we crave is to have deep connections, to, talk to people and understand them on a deeper level, to have conversations that show us more of who that person is. And it's not even so much about understanding them on a deeper level. We can do that without opening up too much. Like, people reveal to you rather quickly who they are. And it's not just because you're a kind person and people want to open up to you. It's just the way we show up, we pretty much make space for others. We allow them to be themselves. So without people even knowing, they tell you very often on a subconscious level, even not only like who they really are from a personal level, but they also show you what their insecurities are, what their dreams are, so often. So we experience that. But what we want so much is to connect with people on a deep level. We want them to understand ourselves as well. We want to meet them where they are, and we want them to understand that we've met them there and to connect with us on this level. This has a lot to do with the fact that, this is one of our gifts. We can think this way. We can see things that most people cannot see. And so we define ourselves through that. And guess what? If we don't have healthy outlets for that, we're going to crave it even more. And we're going to crave it from people who might not even be able to give it to us. Very often we crave it because we cannot have it, because it seems like, oh, now I can crave it and I don't have to really worry about like what if it really happens and if it's true and so on. Because the truth is, if you are afraid of being yourself, and that's actually, what is necessary to have deep connections, you're going to first off look out for people who, are not giving you back those deep emotions, like those deep connections that you're looking for, because on some level you feel like it's not your right to demand it out of everybody. But that's what we all deserve. Because that's the thing. I, for the longest time, thought I love myself, I understand myself, I value myself. I wasn't. Because if you as an INFJ really believe that you have the right to be yourself and to be, cared for and understood and have deep connections, you will be more of who you are to everybody. You're not going to wait for one person who might understand you. You will just be yourself, knowing that most people will not get it, but therefore they will just go away. And you will actually attract different people in your life. But if you keep all of that hidden because you're shamed, because that's how we've been taught, and you see like an opening as in, oh, there's a person who I might be able to reach somehow, and they might, have a deep connection with me, what's going to happen? We're going to put all our energy into that and probably overwhelm that person. Like we've all done that. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy and not a happy one. So remember this, like if you want to have those deep connections, it is really based on you being authentically you. And that does not mean that you're being vulnerable by telling people that you like them. It's about you being a little bit more selfish, you choosing you, saying like, I deserve to also think about me, not just of others. Because that's the human thing. Like you have something to offer. You are a gift to the world, not because you're an INFJ, but because you're, a living being. Like every single one of us is a gift to this world. And so we have to come to terms with, I have to be myself as much as I possibly can. I have to lean into this. I have to choose me. And I have to, go out into the world and, create those connections based on me connecting with myself first. Because if all you do is focus on that one person and understanding them, you're not really giving anybody the chance to really, understand you. And that's what we need for deep connections. We need it from two sides and not just you understanding that person very deeply and trying to heal them or save them in any kind of way. Life scenario number 4 that an INFJ craves is to be of service. We have a lot to offer. And it's not those typical things that every single other person can offer. We understand people on a very particular level. We give them a feeling of you're, appreciated for who you truly are. We encourage people. And there's so much more about like who we are. And every single one of us is different, of course. I'm not even putting INFJs all into like this one basket, because every single one of us has a unique gift. But think about how often it has gotten you in trouble because you wanted to share your gift with somebody. You wanted to save them. You thought, oh, I see what's wrong here, so I have to, save this situation because apparently nobody else gets it. And it's so deeply anchored within us that we do that despite people don't wanting our help, people not appreciating it, people being mean to us. And so all of these are signs that we love our gift so much. We want to be of service. It's something that we will crave for the rest of our lives because this is who we are. And it's not about telling yourself, oh, okay, I don't need to save the world and I just have to mind my own business, because the truth is you don't. Like, even if you wanted to, you're still going to think about those things. So what we need is a healthy outlet. We need to help people who want our help. So that's why I'm always saying, find, a social cause that you can be a part of. Create something, share your message, help people who want your help, who appreciate your help. Because that way you're not only going to find an outlet for your gift, which is something we all crave, but you're also going to, place it towards situations that will have a positive effect. Because if people don't want your help, no matter how much you want to help them, it will be lost. And so you'll actually have a win-win situation where you're helping others and you're also being appreciated for what you bring to the table. And that leads us to life scenario number 5, which is to be deeply understood and appreciated. So this is something different than bringing out our gift. That is also something different than having deep connections with people. Because connection is, of course, based on you being yourself. But to be understood and to be valued and appreciated is all about somebody taking the time and looking into you, understanding you on a deeper level than you're maybe even exuding. And so, on the one hand, you might say, well, is this really something INFJs want? Because, every single person that we meet and that we have any kind of interest in, it's pretty much us, focusing on them. But in the end, we're not only doing that because we need an outlet for a gift. We also hope that somebody will look at us and say, oh, you're worthy. Like, whatever you're doing for me, I appreciate all of that. So I'm going to take my time and understand you. Because it's so much easier for us to hope that somebody will look into us and say, you're interesting enough. Like, I understand you. Like, I will give you the feedback of you are special. And I do understand what you're doing for me. And I do understand who you are. This is so much easier than us saying, I understand myself. I appreciate what I bring to the table. And I'm going to stand here and I'm going to choose me. And, if you want to be part of that, great. But if you don't, don't. Because we have been conditioned all our lives that the only way we're going to get love is by what we do for other people and how well we understand them. And it's not because people didn't mean well. It's just this combination of being a young INFJ who understands people so deeply, and on the other hand, people, not being okay with themselves and needing attention, even from kids in any kind of way, and being, right in all situations, and not having enough ability to give the INFJ the space to be themselves. It is harder for INFJs in the beginning. We do really have to put effort into being ourselves completely. Until this day, it's something that I practice. It's something we talk about in bootcamp all the time, and we take action in order to make it happen. Because if we go into our default mode, we hollow out. We're all about other people. And so we have to understand that if we want to be understood deeply, if we want to be appreciated deeply, it has to start with us. Only if we really appreciate ourselves and take the time to understand ourselves and start building life like from this, and are not trying to escape into some other world or into somebody else's reality, that's when people can really, give you what you're looking for. But again, it all starts with understanding that whatever we're really looking for, which is for people to give us, that feedback without us choosing ourselves, like, it's not going to happen. We're continuously going to get hurt over and over again, trying to heal a wound that happened back in childhood. It happened, it was bad, like, now heal it, grieve it, and then choose yourself and live your INFJ epic life. Remember, if you want to go deeper into this, if you want to be part of a community of INFJs who are working towards the INFJ epic life and are taking consistent steps and making things happen, then join the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp. Our first LifeCon will be May 13th. So make sure you join by then, because we have no late admissions. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in line with today's topic, then watch the 5 weirdest habits of INFJs.